Well, folks, I'll be the first one to admit that I definitely do a lot of content on Donald Trump. He's constantly dominating the news. He's constantly making headlines. And at the end of the day, I do feel like that Donald Trump and his MAGA ideology is the greatest threat to American democracy. And I believe it is used as a weapon of hate. And so I try to keep my eye on that ball and call it out as much as I can. But I never wanted this channel to just turn into a Trump bashing channel. I wanted to raise awareness on issues. I wanted to talk about things that matter, and I wanted to talk about stories that happen and we get outraged about it, and then a couple of days pass and we forget about it because another story breaks, and then pretty soon we just end up becoming numb to it all. And I don't want that to happen with this story. I want you guys to do me a favor, and for a long time to come, I want you to remember the name Nex Benedict. Nex Benedict was a 16-year-old non-binary transgender student in Oklahoma who was severely beaten in the girls' bathroom. The teacher came in and broke it up. Nex wasn't even able to get to the nurse's station. The police weren't called, no charges were filed, and as far as I know, when I sat down to make this video, I didn't see that charges have been filed on anyone for anything. But the following day, Nex Benedict passed due to the injuries they sustained. And notice I said they. I'm a 43-year-old straight white dude. I don't have a problem saying they, because to me it's a sign of respect, and it's a sign that I'm listening. And that's what I think people need to really stop and think about before you start spreading this bullshit that you hear someone else say, before you end up sharing heartless memes and you end up sharing heartless jokes, laughing at heartless jokes and spreading them along. People really needs to stop and listen. I'm going to be dead honest with you. There are things about the transgender community that I didn't understand. There's still things that I'm learning about. But do you know who I ask when I want to know something about the transgender community? I ask the transgender community. I don't want to hear some right-wing podcaster talking about it. I don't want to hear a preacher talking about it. I don't want to hear some bigoted uncle that watches Fox News talking about it. That's not who I want to talk to about it. I don't want to hear someone who's never walked a mile in their shoes. I don't want to hear someone who's never dealt with it and they're just passing along stuff that they just overheard. It doesn't do anything to move the conversation forward. It doesn't do anything for us to gather an understanding about anything. If I have a question about the transgender community, I ask the transgender community, and I listen, and I hear them out. Because I don't know what it's like to be transgender, and I don't know what it's like to have a transgender child. But I know that we all fight our battles in this world. Now, have I been picked on in my lifetime? Yeah, but not for my sexual orientation. Have I been picked on in my lifetime? Yeah. Have I been bullied? Yeah. Never for the color of my skin. I have to put things into context together and understanding about it. Otherwise, I'm going to go through this world ignoring the problems at hand because I wasn't listening to the right people. I was reading about Nex Benedict. Said they was a really smart kid, straight A student. I got a kid who's a straight A student. They talked about how that Nex Benedict loved to play Minecraft. Several of my kids have loved Minecraft over the years. And as I'm reading that story, yeah, it starts off by saying transgender teen severely beaten and dies the next day. Yeah, that's how the story started. But the deeper I got in the story listening, suddenly I just completely took the whole idea of transgender off the table, and I was just imagining what it would be like to be in that situation. To have 3 people jump on me and start beating me because I wasn't like them, and because they didn't understand me. And I got to thinking about what it would be like to rush your child to the hospital and watch it slip away, all because 3 people that didn't understand it beat them to death. I don't want stories like this to slip away. I don't want us to become numb to this type of story. I really want us to stop with all the bullshit and just listen. This is something that no matter who you are in this world, you should try to have just a little bit of compassion. And instead of writing it off like, oh, well, that was just something I didn't understand. That was just something that was a little bit weird to me. Just stop and listen. And listen to the people who are living it. And not just some idiot that you work with. And if you can bring yourself to do that and you can pause and listen for a minute, we might be able to move forward. At least that's my hope.